talks about how, if you had unmet needs, then you project those needs onto your kids. And that often results in, having triggering moments where you're yelling at your kids because of something that has happened within you, right? And I also listened to Sadhguru and his ideas about understanding that your experience, it all happens. Like your whole life is an experience that happens from within yourself. And so anything that upsets you, anything that angers you or makes you sad, that's not, those outside forces are just triggers for something that is already going on inside of you. And you can choose happiness. And maybe this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to people, but the point of this is that I was listening to this masterclass on child rearing, and I had told myself while I was listening to the masterclass, I wrote a note, can this be applied to everything? Can this be applied to every part of life? Not just like, am I projecting things on my kids, but triggers in general. Can all triggers be traced back to fear, the way that they're traced in these moments with our kids? And I think it can. And so I decided to try and see if it could be. And it is. I know. All of my kids are getting ready for bed. Hair essence? Here, sweetie. Thank you. Sorry. So, my 15-year-old is still awake. Well, actually, she's 14. Korean 15. So, anyway, talks about how triggers that you have from your kids, whether it's, your kids didn't put their shoes away or something, whatever it is that hits you and triggers you, are really something that is triggering you from your childhood, something that is from fear, right? So our kids do poorly in math, and so, we get angry, we yell at them. Why? Because deep inside, we're afraid. We're afraid for them. We're afraid for their future. We want them to succeed because we are afraid. That's not a good enough reason. We don't know the future. Maybe they're going to be crappy at math, but they're going to be a genius in biology. Maybe they're going to, suck at science, but be incredibly good at mechanical engineering. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know how any of this works, but I'm just saying, like, as an example, we are afraid, and so we push this onto them. We push that fear onto them, and we try to control them. But really, we have no right to control them. They don't belong to us. I had that really hard realization with that when I became a stepmom of 4 Korean daughters who don't speak English or didn't speak English very well. And I came from a very, very strict, abusive, controlling Catholic background. And I tried to impress upon them those ideals and those values, even though I didn't want to, even though I was consciously trying not to. I didn't know how much that was ingrained in me. I didn't realize how this cycle was still churning. And now I'm much better. But I've been through therapy. I've been through parenting classes. I've been through marriage counseling. I've been through parenting counseling with my kids because I wanted to learn how to be a better mother. Well, not even a better mother. I wanted to learn how to be a mother because I didn't know how, let alone to 4 grown daughters. And to this day, this is what I do. I do as many learning opportunities to know how to parent as possible. And, one of the things that you hear all the time in therapy is that if you've lost something, if some of your needs haven't been met as a child because your parents didn't parent you properly, you can fix that in the now, in the moment, by parenting yourself. And it really kind of all came together for me today, and actually about 10 minutes ago, which is why I'm on here. I realized that those 3 questions, am I seen and heard? Do I matter? Am I worthy? Those three needs and questions that all children ask and yearn for. When I was a child, I was not seen. I was told to get the fuck out of sight. I was not heard. I was told to shut the fuck up. I was told I wasn't important. I was literally told, you are not important. You are insignificant in this world. I was told that verbatim. You have no idea how insignificant you are, is what my father used to tell me. And I believed that. And I know where he was going with that. Now that I'm an adult and I've gotten past the fury and the resentment and the rage and then the indignation, I can see how in his brain that made sense. I think he was trying to tell me that I needed to look at the bigger picture. I need to look at the bigger world. I need to go for something far beyond myself. That my small problems are just that, small problems, insignificant, and they'll be gone in 2 years. I'll forget them. I'm sure he was meaning to say something more loving, but he was a raging alcoholic, and his communication skills were sorely lacking. And I was told I wasn't worthy. I was told constantly that I was ugly, that I was fat, that I was stupid. He called us names, dumbass, fucker, stupid. I mean, just lazy, fat. Told me I had no direction, no ability, no skills, and that I was stupid. I would never succeed. I mean, he told me these things. And I believed him because I was a kid. And so those 3 questions for me were all a resounding no. No, you're not loved. No, you're not seen. No, you're not heard. No, you are not worthy. No, you're not important. No, you don't matter. And you see, up until about 10 minutes ago, I've always assumed that I got fat as a way to protect myself physically from the sexual abuse. But I just had this profound moment where I thought to myself, I was thinking about the first question, do I feel seen? And I thought about how long I've been overweight. Literally the majority of my life. From early teens. With brief moments of, a brief moment of almost normalcy when I was 17. My father was deployed to Afghanistan or Iraq. He wasn't there, and I lost a bunch of weight. I was also working on a farm. But anyway, I'm thinking, I was mulling this question. Am I seen? Am I heard? And I was suddenly reminded of me and my friend walking across the street here in Korea. And I just went into the road without looking. And she said, Liz, what are you doing? This is how people get killed. And I looked at her and I said, nobody is dumb enough to hit me with their car. If you can't see me at this size, you deserve whatever damages my body will do to your vehicle. And I realized, am I eating my way into being seen? I moved myself to a country where I am atypical. I'm 5'9". The average woman here is 5'4". I was almost 300 pounds. The average woman here is maybe 130, 140 pounds, 150 if she's obese. I was a blonde, which is very rare here, and I dyed my hair red because blondes, as being a blonde, everybody was mistaking me as a hooker. It's a cultural thing, and I've made choices in the way that I dress, in the way that I behave, that would suggest that I am seeking attention, even though when I'm in the midst of being surrounded by people, I will avoid contact at all costs. I will put my earbuds in, even though I don't have anything I'm listening to. I will stare at my phone. I will hyper focus on my child. I will, I do almost anything I can do to avoid interaction here. Because I am embarrassed by my size. And people here are not like in America. Here, they're not trying to be rude, but they will tell you to your face, bluntly, with no remorse, without checks, without caring about your feelings. They will simply say to you, oh, you're fat. You should really stop eating so much. You should exercise. It's good for you. You're going to die early. They're just very blunt. And it's probably why so many of them are thin, why there's not a huge obesity problem, although it is getting worse. They are very, very blunt about their health needs here. And anyway, I do stick out here. I was, and I'm pretty close to now, I am over 250 pounds. I am white. I am very tall for a woman here. I have red hair and dreadlocks. I speak English in public with my mixed child and my 4 stepchildren. Everywhere we go, we get attention. Everywhere I go, I get stared at, looked at. And I'm in this moment wondering, did I choose this to be seen? Is this my way of projecting onto the world the way that I would project those needs onto a child? Am I eating my way to a size that no one can ignore me, that no one can tell me that I am insignificant because I am so large, I am significant? Am I eating myself to a place where people have to notice me? Is all of this just to be noticed, to be seen, to be heard, to feel like I matter? And can I fix it? Because look at myself and I just feel trapped. And day after day, I want to fast. I want to do a true water fast. I want to do nothing but water. And I joined a group, and I've joined the Facebook groups, and I've been trying to do posts, and yet I don't seem to have control over my eating habits when it comes to 8 and 9 o'clock at night. And I'm so frustrated that I'm drinking. I don't drink. I don't like to drink. My father was an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic as a early, as a teen, and then into my 20s. I almost never drink. My husband is an alcoholic. Well, was an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. You don't really get, you just one day at a time. But that's where I'm at. I'm at this spot where I'm seeking validation, seeking solace inside of addictions. And I always have. It's always been one thing after another. It's always been, drugs or in my early teens, drugs, self-mutilation, smoking, drinking. And it just got worse as I got older. And it wasn't until I was in my 20s that it was after I was raped the last time that no matter how hard I tried to push the responsibility for what he did off onto him completely, there was still that small voice inside of me that said, you know what, dumbass? If you hadn't been so fucked up, you could have done something to stop him. And who knows if that's true? But that was the moment for me. That's when I stopped. That's when I stopped drinking. I stopped doing drugs. I stopped cutting myself. I stopped burning myself. I stopped everything. And then just started eating. The point of this video is that the next time you feel that need to eat, to shove something in your face, ask yourself, what fear is this playing on? What is this satisfying? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. And I don't know how this revelation is going to affect me. But I do know that maybe I can parent myself. Maybe I can dedicate to showing myself that I am seen. I see me. I hear me. By validating my own emotions, by allowing myself to feel, by giving myself the care that I need. Maybe I can parent myself and heal. Really heal. Truly heal. I've been taking classes on how to become the best mother for my kids. maybe now I can use that to become the best mother to myself. And give myself what I need. They say you should be your best friend, and you should be. They say you should, discipline is the heart of love, and I think it really is. In a way. You can't change the past and what your parents did or didn't do, and what you've been through or you lost or didn't receive. But after a certain point, like Will Smith said, it may not be your fault that you're broken, but it is your responsibility to fix it. This is your life, and if you don't take responsibility to fix it, no one else will. So that's what I'm doing. I'm delving deep, guys, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. And who knows where it's going to lead us, and who knows if this is going to help me fast. I hope it does. But it's worth it to go there and try. So, bottoms up from one alcoholic to the rest of you who hopefully are not alcoholics. But if you are, I understand. And here's to healing ourselves and taking responsibility. Have a good night.